going on, everyone? A little late. Definitely need to wake up a little bit earlier. Not enough time in the morning to get my coffee. But anyways, JNUC's coming down anyway, so it's just a little bit late. Give me a second to finalize these things. And it appears I need to start my computer again. Stupid thing. Let's see if I can solve this. There, the chat's open now. Let's see here. XPL is on the top here. Nothing's going on. JNUC's still coming down. Take a closer look at that in a second. SVBL didn't break out. came back in. Nothing. Let's see what the oils are doing. Oil should be heating up. FGP, watch that one for a flat top break. Need some volume. I don't know if it's a buy yet, but I need to look at it a little bit harder. Hang on a second. I hear you though. I think 20 is the mark though. There's plenty of room for it to come down. Hang on a second. I got a late start, so I'm trying to get things figured out. But I hear you. Waiting for a JNUC bottom. Not enough time for my coffee to kick in either. Still asleep. I don't know what's going on with my charts. Here's a better chart. Looks like the 1 minute's starting to come over. See if we can't get something out of it. Gold's still above 13. Silver needs to be over 18 pronto. It's not supposed to be consolidating yet. Dollar's up. Got the V bottom working on the dollar. S&P breaks out. Dow's not broken out yet. Let's close. NASDAQ trying to make another high. Janug. It is down into previous breaks, but I'm thinking closer to 21. So we'll see what happens. We could get a little blip here on the 1 minute. Looks like it's a double bottom. A double bottom 2-bar pattern on the 1 minute. Looks like it's a 2-bar pattern on the 5 minutes. So yeah, that's a good call. And confirmation on the 2-bar pattern on the 1 minute or the 5 minute. Could get a little bounce. She goes. And spike low. 15 minute. This is the one I would be watching. Cross the 8. And then hold support. It's kind of cross over that 8. Five minutes, gotta get over the 34. Change that trend on the 5 minute. Nice 2-bar pattern on the open. Let's make sure we don't get a rejection. Can't believe it, S&P and the Dow. I mean, come on. That's silliness. I'll have to keep reminding myself to review the can lines. I keep forgetting, but I remember a tiny bit, just tiny. Let's see, 60 minute. 60-minute gold looks like it wants to turn. It's got some support on the 8 and 13. Silver needs to break, get back above 18. GDX coming all the way in. God, this got slammed yesterday. It sucks. I think JNUG still has some room to come back in, so let's watch for a bearish retracement. It's going to get that opposing point, find trend. But it's a nice bounce today. We got outside day on the 60-minute. Measured move is in. More than so. Across the 34. Let's see if I can get this up just a little bit deeper. Winter's coming, so I'll have a lot of time to research GANs. Kids are back to school. Sales are dropping off the map. Everyone's going to batten down the hatches in the wintertime. I'll have plenty of cabin fever to look over the GAN work. Five-minute chart still building. It's got to get over that 34. One minute, get a little pop. It's going to come back in now. Make sure support holds when it comes back in. I think the 60-minute still has a little bit of room to come back. No, not the 60-minute. It was the daily. Looking at previous lows all the way over here, previous breaks. Previous low, previous breaks. All the way at 21. So that was my mark. Actually, 20 yesterday was my mark. 50% rule. If it came down hard and fast, that was my line yesterday. But 21 would be a good buy. Let's see. Let's jump to miners. Just double check, make sure I didn't miss anything. If there's something wrong with my charts. Let's cross that 8 on 60-minute chart. Oops. A double bottom on the 30-minute chart for JNUG. Could get a little push. Could be a nice trade for anybody. So previous lows are 22.60, so it looks like 40 cents. Little intraday trade coming. LACDF, it's been popping. Little lithium. NVDEF, watch for previous high breaks. Needs volume. Previous high breaks on NVDEF, Nevada Exploration. Monthly previous high breaks looks good. JNUG looks good. It's got a double bottom. It's just got to break the top here. Break into previous lows. Let's get back up into the next range. Could be a 40 cent, 60 cent pop. Make sure support holds. It's a 15-minute chart. Back into support now in the 1 minute. Oh, my charts are so sensitive. Nice quick bottom here. The 2-bar reversal and then a 2-bar reversal making a double bottom over the 34 back into support. That's a bullish retracement. Make sure support holds here. Nice bounce on JNUG. Previous high breaks, 22.25 about. So the 1 minute did a double bottom over the 34 back into support. Now watch for the previous high breaks for the completion of the bullish retracement. Looks like 22 is going to hold Sluggo. Here she blows. Let's see if we can't get anything else running with it. ASM looks no volume. Closer and closer and closer. Previous high break. Nice double bottom on JNUG. intraday double bottom, that is. $60 showing a double bottom now. It's going to cross over that 8. That's that 5-minute pop. One-two punch over the 34 on JNUG. Nice hammer here, nice 2-bar reversal here. Over the 34, back into support. Watch for the 1-2 punch over the 5-minute chart. ASM just had a double in volume. Not saying much. ASM's on its highs for the day. So the chart does not look ready yet. EXK. Looks like a daily cup and handle working on EXK, so watch that support. CLLXF back into support. SVBL, watch that. Came back, it's coming back into support now. Make sure support holds. Let's open up another intraday chart. Let's see if we can watch this JNUG really take off. Now I got a double top consolidation over the 34. Make sure we hold the 34. Watch for the double top break. $60, the one coming out of oversold situation. There she goes. Just a little hiccup. I got a hammer close on the 60-minute chart. Oh, no, it's not closing yet. I got a minute. Sorry. It's almost a hammer. Knocking out a bottom on the 60-minute chart. Watch that hammer, Sluggo, on the next candle on the hourly. Flat top break on the 5-minute. Boom, boom, boom. Got a minute left. Oh, it's gonna leave the station without us. 5-minute chart broke. Waiting for that 60-minute to get over that 8. Pumping it. There she goes. Boom, boom, boom. Good call, Steely. I was hoping it would come back down into 20. I guess it still could, but right now it's pumping. Pumping. 60-minute looks good. It's coming out of an oversold situation, popping over the 8 into the 13 for the first run on this bottom. So into 23. Probably that 5-minute chart line up there. Which is previous lows. So looking for a pump into previous lows. Over the 8 into the 13, back into the 8 for support. Let's work this bottom. Work it, work it, work it. There she goes. Pumping it, pumping it. Let's see if we can get a spike high. Let it deflate, come back in. This thing could get pumping and just cross over that 13, no problem though. We've got a 2-bar reversal on the 60-minute. Did not turn into a hammer like I wanted to, but it is close. Very, very close. Boom, boom, right there. Let's see if we can get it into 13, cross over 23. That would be nice. It's coming into previous lows. See if we can't get a bust through previous lows and then a hold for support on the next candle. That would be sweet. But otherwise, watch for a rejection. Oversold situation out of the box. Out of the red, into the green, back into the green. That was our buy signal on 60-minute. Actually, the signal was a 2-bar reversal. Boom, boom, boom. Hang on a second. Got problems on my crypto. Don't want to worry about it, so I'm just going to sell it. OMG got listed last night on Poloniex. The crypto OMG got listed. I don't know why they would call it OMG. It's so silly, but a lot of people were talking about it, so all right, let's get out of there. Looking for JNUG to hit resistance. Intraday resistance, that is. Watch J-Nugget, it's brewing. It's brewing for a move across the 13 on that 60-minute, into breaking into previous lows. It's brewing. Maybe watch for a sharp pullback. Otherwise, watch for the previous high break on the 5-minute there for continuation. See how hard this will pump. Keep it pumping, keep it pumping. Watch that 60-minute. The 13's right there. Pump over the 13. And then we'll have 8 and 13 for support. Breaking into previous lows is good. It's got to keep going though. EGI is shaping up. EGI. Previous high break there on the daily. It's got halfway decent volume, but nothing to be excited about. Previous low break on the 1-minute chart there on JNUG might be coming back in. That 60-minute 13 is holding it back. Little resistance on the way up. Previous lows. Over the 8 into the 13, back into the 8 for support. Let's make sure support holds. And the 8. I need more screen space, really, really bad. Watch the 13 break. Into support. No time for that. Still got a nice little flat top in the making there. The 1 minute. Got to break that 13. Otherwise, it's going to fall back in. Watching the RSI for the move back in. Well, it looks pretty strong and steady. Strong and steady. Looks like a megaphone top on, well, it wouldn't be megaphone because it's got a flat top. See how we break out of here. Holding support now on the 8 on the 1 minute. Between the 8 and 13 on the 60 minute. So it could be a back and forth battle all day. Just gotta break that top. It's getting close. Support and resistance, it's getting tight. Support and resistance on the 1 minute. A resistance on the way up, support coming up. And now I got a candle opening below the 8 on the 1 minute. So it looks like momentum's dying off. I got a higher low, or a lower high, excuse me. Let it naturally come back in. I got previous high breaks at 2240. Here she goes. Maybe, maybe not. It's holding support. It's got to break that top. It's got to break that top where it's going to come back in. Let's see what you got. A little volume spike. Pressure's on the upside. Here she goes. Boom, boom. Breaking the top there. Let's see if we can't get this thing running another $1. Nope. Got rejected. Rejection so far on the 1 minute. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, baby. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Come on. Resistance going to win. It's got to hurry up and break. Showing a reversal bar now. That is a falling star on the 1 minute. Opening below the 8 one more time. Watch the oversold situation, the overbought situation. Watch that come back in. Crossing below the trend line there. It's got to break. Take out that hand, that falling star. It's got to do it pronto. It's going to come back in. I'm looking at previous high breaks. If it's strong enough, it'll hold previous highs up here. I'm thinking it'll get a little volatile and come back in a little bit. Got a double top now with a reversal bar on the 1 minute. Still has plenty of support. It's just momentum's dying a little bit. There, it's below the 8. Let's change this to the 5 minute, see how we're brewing. I'm gonna double top on the 5 minute. It's gotta take it out. $60 to 1 I'm watching really is the move across the 8 into the 13 back into the 8 for support. But if it keeps breaking previous highs, I will not argue. A little falling star on the 1 minute, so something to pay attention to. And then it turned into a double top on the 5 minute, something to pay attention to. Price patterns. Now it's dropping below the 13. Oh, got another lower high. So 60-minute, nice little double bottom reversal over the 8 into the 13. It's our first try for the bottom. So let's watch this come back in, see how strong support is. It's got to take out that falling star on the 1 minute. Damn, J-Nug. Watch for the flat top break now. It's above the 8. Little head fake there on the 1 minute. Boop, boop, boop. Watch the flat top break. Boom, boom, come on. $78, $79, $80. A new high today. Smack it. Previous lows is the resistance. It's got to break into previous lows to ride up that range. We break into previous lows, could ride up to 2350 for the next leg. Still having trouble. There she goes. Broke previous highs. Let's keep her going. Boom, boom. Watch it break. Pop, pop, pop. Next line of resistance, previous lows. See if we can get to 2350 in a hurry. Come on. Unless it wants to head fake us. Trying for 23 over the mark there. Coming back in on that break. Make sure support holds here. KGC, you can see the pop on the previous breaks on the daily chart coming back in. Now the double back on KGC looks good. GPL is at support. JNUG's got a hold. Could be a little whipsaw on the top there on the 1 minute chart. Broke over resistance back underneath the support. Watch for the drop off here. It's below previous highs, the break. So the reason for buying it was the previous break. Now it's below that. So now you got to think, my decision was wrong, maybe, blah, blah, blah. Depending on your tolerance, let it come back in. I'm all for letting it come back in. Got to take it out. It's got to get above previous highs or it's not going to hold. There's the drop off. Now we got the 1 minute crossing coming. I got the cross below the 8. Watch for the bearish retracement back into resistance, allowing it to come back in. A little short and sweet there. It's got to hold. That previous pattern there. Oh. It looks good for a bottom though on the 60 minute. Back and forth, back and forth. Nice little double bottom on the 60 minutes. So we got good support. So here we go. Got a previous high break coming on this one, REP, RFP. No volume. None. Lithium again. Seems like lithium's running every other day. Which reminds me, gotta change this up a little bit. You talking about the cells, the fuel cells for lithium? Or the electric cars? There's a lot of big corporations too that want to eliminate gas burning cars, self-driving cars. There's a big push, but I don't think people are going to give up their freedom that easily. So I know the corporations want it, but I think this whole globalism thing is going to get a slap in the face. The corporations are trying to take over, it seems like, put us all in a little box. I don't know, I'd be hard pressed to give up my freedom. Self-driving cars. Yeah, and they want to. Electric cars is one thing, but they're going to change the whole thing over at once. That's what they want. Not just an electric car and no gas burning. They want it all self-driving, seems like. I don't know, things are changing fast, so I don't know. Exactly. The big corporations are pushing for this. But I think at the last, there was a big old car show, the last one. I think it was from Ford or I think Ford, because they want to do the same thing. Yeah, well, they're trying to do it on this whole same page, make everything electric car, and then all of a sudden make them all self-driving too. I think for some industries it'll be fine, like taxis. I think Uber is going to try this. Uh, Rental cars, I think that'll be fine. I think they're going to try this. But individuals, I mean, daydreaming in your own car, I don't think people are going to give that up easily. I think in the last car show they realized that, and they're going to scale back on the push. I don't know. It's changing fast. I mean, imagine 20 years from now, no one driving a their own car. It's just some little machine comes, picks you up, drops you off, and then you pay like a state tax or something. I don't even know. It's crazy. Nope, I won't. I think they're going to scale back though, because they were going to turn over the whole production line into self-driving cars. And all the big corporations were thinking about doing this. And just recently they decided, it might be a little bit fast, because it's a lot of freedom people are going to give up in their own cars. I think they realized there's going to be a big push. So now it's just like the taxis, I believe the diesel drivers. Uber, I know Uber is going to try it for the self-driving electric cars. They're going to try it. Pretty sure. They're the ones that are going to introduce it. JNUG still coming in. It's crossing over the 34 now. So let it come back in. Put your order in on the previous high breaks. And on that 60-minute, it's the 8 previous high breaks. Watch for the bearish retracement back into the 34 as the 8 comes across. Crossing over the 34 back into resistance. Let it come back in. That's what happens when corporations take over your government. You get these crazy ideas. Crude came back into support yesterday. I don't have intraday charts for crude, but you can see the previous high break, 2-bar reversal, 2-bar reversal over the break into support, and then bounced. So watch the back and forth on oil. Make sure you fill up your cars because it's going to break out. The longer term chart on crude says it's a price pattern that's been brewing since 2015. So I got a left shoulder head, right shoulder, and then the completion right across. You had the break across the 34 back into support. Now the big break is coming. Watch for the big break. With all the scarcity going on at the same time, distribution lines taken out with the hurricanes. Lots of areas without gas, I imagine. I know that our prices over here in the mountains went up. I filled up my car, or little truck, but this is going to be more than 2 weeks worth of gas. Actually, a tank for me will last all month. The benefits of living in a small town, I guess. You don't drive back and forth everywhere. So crude does look good for a bullish move. Here's the bearish retracement back into resistance as the 8's crossing over. Just like clockwork. Broke previous lows, broke 34, back into support, back into resistance. It could just break out and come back in as a whipsaw, but once it crosses over to 34, you can see the bearish retracement and then the fall into support. Rig. We were watching Rig earlier. Rig. Oh, there it is. What'd you miss again? You have to buy some. 60-minute chart looks good. Let's take a look at the daily chart for a bigger move. It's a nice little consolidation over that 34. Daily chart popped across the 34 back into support. Watch for the breakout. That'd be nice. I don't think you missed it. Oh, the bottom, yeah. You did miss the bottom, but you haven't missed the break yet. It's still consolidating over the 34. $2016. Previous low, you mean? Yeah, I see what you mean. The cross below and then back above, the little whip. I see what you mean. That just means that the consolidation is more bullish than people would think. So I don't think you missed it. Let's look at the weekly. Make sure that that the trend is intact. And it looks like you're going to get a nice little pop, J-curve pop on the weekly chart. So this thing's just getting brewing. So long term, you might have missed the daily, but do not neglect the weekly. It's got support. JNUG might get a little head fake itself. Back and forth, back and forth. It needs to pop here. A couple bars of support on the 8. Needs to pop over that 13. Get out of this mess. Looks like it might do it. Excuse me. Boom. Little 1 minute head fake across the 34, back above the 34. Boom, do it. Take it out. Come on, you can do it. Go, go, go. It's trying. It's trying. It's losing gas. It's got a double top there. Hmm. You got a double top into resistance now on JNUG. So allow it to come back in. This could be a nice bottom forming on just right underneath the 34, but make sure support holds on the way down. Might even be construed as a head and shoulders top on the 1 minute. The left shoulder, head, spike high, and the right shoulder got rejected. Lower highs throughout. Make sure support holds on the way down. JNUG. I put lithium into my stock fetcher for mining to watch, and it's not picking up any of them. So do not know what to do. JNUG for a reversal again. Watch for the consolidation right underneath the 34. JNUG's got resilience. Does not want to come down. Watch for the pop across the 34 on that 60-minute, or the $13. 60 minutes coming out of the oversold situation, so it looks good on the 60-minute. Double bottom was called by Steely with his scan lines. Nice little pop. Has support again on the upper channel. So here we go. Let's take out the top. Let's take out previous highs for the day. Let's keep it rolling. See if I can't pick up a lithium mining sector. It's not going to happen. Secondary market. My stock fetcher is not picking up any lithiums, which blows. Can't find him, can't find him. Here's some funny. Let me just do this real quick. JNUG for the win. Let's break that previous high. Let's get above these previous highs over here and get some support. Otherwise, we're back and forth, back and forth. Let's look at the overall market. Looks like the dollar came back in. Dollar still got trend support. S&P put in a 60-minute falling star, same as Dow Jones, right at resistance. Boom, boom. A rejection on the NASDAQ as well. But it's a cup and handle at the top here. Could take it out. Looked like it was. Got rejected so far. Google's still working a double top, but it's consolidating over the 34 on the daily. JNUG into resistance. Back again. Nice trend. Look for the flat top break. Goro. Goro popped its head up. Looks like the weekly's shaping. JNUG, come on. Stop piddling around. Goro popped its head up. USAS put in a reversal bar over the 8 on the daily as it came back into support. Now it's bouncing back across. Need a confirmation on that daily candle to confirm a hammer on the upside. EXK is on its highs. I'm not getting a chart on that one. Did have a spike high this morning though. Get my charts all screwed up, sorry. GARWF. Watch previous high breaks on that. Needs volume. Just cherry picking the green boxes. Those are the ones on the highs. CYXI. Watch for a previous high break on that. Again, volume is a problem. Volume is a problem. JNUG having some problems. Back below the 34 again. 1 minute, put in a lower high. Breaking an upward trend. This could be the right shoulder coming in. My stupid computer is getting sluggish. No offense, Sluggo. JNUG for dailies hanging on up with support there on the 13. Last lines of defense before it comes all the way back in. So a little back and forth on the daily. The 60-minute was our best bet to get over that 30 or that 8. That's not. That's different. That's different. Why is my feed different? 60-minute. My charts are different. Never mind, let's not look at that. Gonna have to trust the feed from Ameritrade. That's just the way it is. So sell off up there. Make sure you hold support on the way down. CDE, watch that for a previous break. ZYXY, still volume. So mighty fine pattern forming. I got J-Nugget in a pinch, working it. Did not look at bioenergy or medical pharmaceuticals. Let's look at that real quick. I'm going to call it a day. I don't see anything else going on. Watch for the J-Nug top pattern on the 1 minute. Let it come down if it needs to. Damn, we should have watched this earlier. Saw that one. Oh, we should have turned this to this. Someone's selling some drugs. People are buying. So we got to keep watch on this biomedical. Previous high break on that bad boy, MNKD. Looks like previous low breaks coming on JNUG. Make sure, I think it's going to come down. I don't like flat bottoms at all. So I have a descending triangle with a flat bottom. So I'm going to say that it's going to come back in. See how we end up tonight. All the way back into previous breaks. If it wants to, it'll come back into that double bottom area. Make sure that double bottom holds on the 60-minute. I think I destroyed that other one. Make sure the 60-minute holds on JNUG. It's at 13 that has the resistance on the way up, the previous lows. So it's getting knocked back. Let it come back into the 8, previous high breaks. Or I should just call it previous breaks. Unless it wants to get a little fancy-dancy push. Volume cures all illnesses. But we should have been watching this biomedical earlier, because these things are kicking. So daily charts, PAVM, I think we missed that. No volume anyways. That would have been nice to catch a couple days ago. Boom, boom. Heat biologics. J-Nug still in a pinch. This one made a pop. It's coming back into support. Watch for the support buys. Not too late on that one. Looks good. Actually got 3 cents off of the previous break. So you're not too far off. Let's look at intraday on this bad boy. Looks like it's turning on the 1 minute. It's got volume. Watch for the turn. It's got a reverse head and shoulders on the 1 minute. See the double AB bottom crossing over the 34 back into support, hold support, break it. That's the right shoulder coming in. Make sure support holds. So it's just a 1 minute chart, so support's very thin. Yeah, crude's coming back into support, Yasmin. I'm going to see if I can get a bite out of this. HTBX. Hang on a second, I'll pull up my chart for crude. Hang on. I made a support buy on BCN this morning. So I had a little break. So I bought it at support at the 43 mark. Let's see if it'll hold. I'm having trouble on my cryptos lately. I need to get a good push. Anywho's, let's get that crude. Where is it? Let's see. Crude made the previous breaks. It's very bullish. It's doing the bullish retracement back into support, bounced off. Now the 8's coming across previous highs. So we're gaining support. The bullish retracement's in. Watch for previous high breaks on crude. Definitely fill up your tank as the long-term chart shows a reversal pattern that's going to break out. It's a reverse head and shoulders on the long-term chart since 2015. So this is a reverse head and shoulders off of a bottom, a long-term bottom. It's going to break out. Even the monthly says it's going to break out. I got increasing volume on the lows. With the distribution problems and scarcity, I think that this is going to blow up here shortly. HTBX support's not holding so far. I got a flat bottom now. I don't like flat bottoms with a descending triangle, but that is now a triple bottom with the reverse head and shoulders. So dipping below 60, no problem, no problem. Let's get some raw data up here. I like this one for a move. If I was trading, if I had my money, all my money's in crypto. No problem, Yasmin. I would fill up your tanks. That's bottom line. There's going to be higher prices in the future. JNUG's picking it up again. This is not helping. Let's make sure we don't miss anything on JNUG. Make sure we support JNUG there. Nice little stair step into support, but I'm leaning towards it coming back in since it hit resistance on the 60-minute. Allow it to come back in for a few hours. That's how I would do it, but these are small moves compared to the big move coming. JNUG. Let's see, the half-day chart's doing a bearish retracement back into resistance. That's my half-day chart. So it's hard to tell. It did make a high. I need more screen space so bad. I think there's plenty of room to come back in a little bit more on the daily chart for JNUG. So we're going to have a lot of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's not at support yet. It is on the support line for intradays. With the longer term charts, it's going to come back in, but that 60-minute chart is very compelling. My 60-minute chart looks different on my trading view than it does, which is really bothersome right now. It's bothering me. I got more detail on my MedVed trader, I guess. Shows the double bottom very clearly. On my trading view, 60-minute chart blows. It's not the same. I know what it is. JNUG's not picking up, or trading view is not picking up extended hours. It would seem. I'm not sure though. I don't like it. I don't like it when my charts are different. I'm gonna go with the MedVed trader feed. It's a double bottom on the 60 minutes. Coming back in a little bit, but it should be allowed. Hitting the, you get 2-bar reversal, double bottom pattern, over the 8 into the 13, back into the 8 for support. So I'm looking at 22.25 for support. So allowing it to come back in 20 cents is not a big deal, I don't think. But buy at support, sell at resistance. Pharmaceuticals are kicking. We need to pay attention to these more better. TTOO, that would have been a nice break. Watching this one. This one looks great. It busted out, came back in as support. Let it come back in if it has to. I like this one. It's got good volume. No idea what they do, how they do it. The daily chart's breaking out. There's that bottom pop. That's that J curve pop. Over the 8, into the 13, back into support, and then the previous pop. That's what JNUG, I imagine, will do here shortly. Let it come back into support, double back, and pop. I'm going to call it a day. I got to get my stuff running. Get some breakfast. Appreciate all of you coming by. Thanks, Steely, for catching that sharp little bottom there. Now it's just a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Let the 60-minute develop. Watch for previous high breaks. Take it into the next line of resistance. We should have watched these pharmaceuticals. These are all popping. Lots of drugs being sold, it looks like. Lots of drugs. Lots of them. Lots of useless drugs. Lots of green. Anyways, I'll catch you all on the flip side. Let me know what's going on out there. Wish me luck on the cryptos. Need a push on the cryptos. I'll see you guys.